Here's the usual modern marvels crap. They didn't even bother to mention all the money that the oil companies spent lobbying against double-hulled oil tanker requirements.
At the National Steel and Shipbuilding Company in San Diego, California, BP is building 4 new Alaskan oil tankers to meet the OPA 90 deadline of 2015. At 185,000 deadweight tons, each ship consists of 34,000 tons of steel and requires 106,000 gallons of paint. But what is unique about these ships is a redundancy system that ensures a level of safety far beyond the requirements of OPA 90.
We call it double-double. It's double hull, double engine, double propeller, double everything. And they're designed to enhance the safety of transporting oil out of Alaska waters. If the engine were to fail, the other one could operate independently and propel that ship. The same with the rudder. If you were to lock your rudder in and you couldn't move that rudder, you could actually shut down that engine and operate off of a separate propulsion system.
The rebuilding of BP's tanker fleet won't come cheap, as each Alaskan tanker will cost nearly $250 million. But BP has found at least one way to help offset the cost. Oil tankers reserve several tank compartments to store seawater. This is used to ballast the ship after cargo is discharged.
If you take a simple idea of an outer wall and an inner wall that we now call the double hull, you can use that space for ballast. When you do, you can use more of the internal tanks to carry more product, crude oil or gasoline or whatever you may be transporting. You actually get more efficient use of the space.
The Alaska Frontier will be the first of BP's new Alaskan-class oil tankers to begin service.
I name the Alaskan Frontier.
When the Alaska Frontier sails, it will be the safest tanker sailing in U.S. waters.
However, BP isn't the only company that is undergoing a massive rebuilding of its tanker fleet. New legislation has brought about the highest level of tanker construction since post-World War II.
The reason is the industry, ahead of the deadline, is beginning to build their double-hull tankers around the world. By 2010, which is still 5 years before the requirement for all double-hull, approximately 85% of the world's oil tanker fleet will be double-hulled.
But in spite of the new, stricter laws and regulations, there are critics who believe there are bigger issues at hand.
Double hulling a tanker adds safety, for sure, but it's not going to fix the entire problem. It's a Band-Aid solution in the end. Oil tankers are not the problem. Oil is the problem. Our nation and most nations in the world are over-dependent on oil. We're addicted to oil.
While renewable energies are being developed, their evolution remains slow, and the world's demand for oil continues to increase. But oil is a non-renewable resource, and its supply will one day be exhausted.